Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through stacks of research, expert notes, all sorts of sources, really, to bring you the most important insights, tailored just for you. Today, we're tackling gossip. Now, when you hear that word, what's your first thought? Trivial, maybe. Malicious. Well, get ready to rethink that. This deep dive isn't about judgment. It's a scientific look at human gossip, and we're using a surprisingly helpful AI lens to do it. Our mission: to pull together insights from everywhere: evolutionary psychology, neuroscience, history, complex systems, you name it. We want to give you a real, holistic understanding of what gossip is and what it does. You might find that what you dismissed as idle talk is actually, well, wired deep into us.
It really is. And, scientifically, the formal definition is basically exchanging personal information about people who aren't present.
Yeah.
And usually there's some kind of evaluation in there, positive.
Evaluation.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not just facts. And the word itself, gossip, it has this incredible history. Back in early modern England, it actually came from gossip. Like God sibling. It meant the close female friends, the ones present at childbirth.
Yeah.
It's all about positive female bonds, this sort of independent birthing culture. Really powerful stuff.
Wow. Okay, so how did it become, gossip?
Well, fast forward to the 19th century, and the meaning just flips. It becomes idle talk, groundless rumor. And our sources suggest this wasn't just like a random linguistic drift.
Yeah.
No. It seems to reflect how society's view of communication gets shaped by, power structures, cultural values, gender politics. Some interpret it as a way to kind of control or devalue communication forms that empowered women historically.
That's quite a shift. And seeing how perceptions changed like that, that's where the AI perspective comes in, right? Analyzing all this complexity.
Precisely. AI can handle these enormous, messy data sets from human interaction, including gossip in ways we just can't.
How so?
It spots subtle patterns, predicts how information might flow, models these really intricate social dynamics, things that are just beyond our cognitive limits.
Yeah.
And it can even meta-analyze the science itself.
Meta-analyze the science. Like, look at all the studies.
Exactly. Imagine AI helping scientists connect the dots across thousands of papers, finding common threads, correlations, even spotting the gaps in what we know. It just speeds up the whole process of understanding.
Okay, so let's really dig into this. If you've always thought gossip was, a character flaw, something petty, the sources paint a totally different picture. They frame it as an adaptive strategy, something deep in our behavior that was actually crucial for survival, for social organization.
And Robin Dunbar, the evolutionary psychologist, he had this pioneering idea comparing it to primate grooming.
Grooming, like picking bugs off each other.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Just like primates groom to bond and keep their groups together, Dunbar argued humans use gossip. It's our way of doing that social bonding, especially in the large groups we form, our kind of social glue.
Okay, social glue. So how does that work practically?
Well, one key function is spreading reputational information. Super efficiently, actually. It helps us figure out who to trust, who to cooperate with.
And who to avoid.
And definitely who to avoid, who might exploit you. It's about indirect reciprocity. You build a good reputation, so others are more likely to help you down the line because you're seen as reliable.
Yeah.
You need that in complex societies.
Right. And how does it stop people from being, selfish?
The selfishness deterrence function. That's powerful. Just knowing your reputation could be damaged, the threat of being gossiped about, it encourages cooperation, makes people stick to the social norms. That gave early humans a big advantage.
You can really picture it in prehistoric times. Smaller groups, everyone relying on trust. Gossip would have been essential, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Tracking alliances, betrayals, all without needing direct, maybe dangerous confrontations. It was probably foundational for scaling up beyond just family groups, forming tribes, cities.
So gossip helped build civilization. That's a wild thought.
It's a strong argument. And now research is even finding a neurochemical basis for it.
What do you mean in the brain?
Yeah. Engaging in gossip seems to trigger a spike in oxytocin. That's the hormone linked to empathy, bonding, cooperation.
The cuddle hormone.
That's the one. A study by Brondino, for instance, showed oxytocin levels were significantly higher after gossip chats compared to other talk. So it feels good. It reinforces the bond. A whole biological loop.
And there's even a genetic idea that people who were just interested in others' lives were more successful.
That's the theory. That fascination, that tendency to gossip, might have been selectively favored over time, which leads to this core paradox, right?
Yeah.
This behavior we often condemn culturally. It's also a deep biological imperative, something that helped us succeed as a species.
Now,
that for turning things upside down.
It makes you think about it as almost a natural law of how societies organize themselves.
That's a great way to put it. It acts like this decentralized, organic reputation system. Before formal laws, gossip was the main way to enforce norms, maintain order. And the fact that it's still so prevalent.
Means our formal systems haven't completely replaced it.
Exactly. It's still this ancient, low-cost way of keeping things in check, informally.
And that social control aspect, it's powerful but cheap, relatively speaking.
Right. Identify norm violators, monitor them, maybe sanction them informally, all without a big confrontation. Just the fear of your reputation getting trashed is often enough.
It's also how we learn the rules, isn't it? Cultural learning.
Definitely. Gossip transmits all those unwritten rules, the norms, how to live in a culture, often through stories, anecdotes. You learn by observing what happens to others.
So it's like information flowing through a network.
Precisely. And the gossip itself changes the network, strengthens bonds between the gossipers, weakens ties with the person being talked about, and we're constantly unconsciously calculating who to share with, using these internal mental maps of our social networks.
Yeah.
Weighing who's popular, how close they are to the target, updating these maps all the time based on what we see and hear.
Okay, now drop that ancient mechanism into today. TikTok, social media, our modern campfires.
In a way. But it's different, isn't it? It's often passive. You just scroll through this feed. It acts like social metadata, subtly shaping how you see people, trends, norms.
But this feels like a huge but. The downsides are amplified, right?
Massively. False information spreads like wildfire. Cyberbullying becomes a huge issue. Screenshots, videos, easily shared, often unverified. The lines blur between news and gossip.
And those old social checks and balances, they're weaker online.
Much weaker. The potential for rapid, widespread harm is it's orders of magnitude greater.
Okay, but here's something that surprised me from the sources. Most gossip isn't actually malicious.
Right. Large studies, meta-analyses find about 75% is neutral. Just mundane stuff. Only around 15% is clearly negative or malicious, and maybe 9% is positive.
That really goes against the stereotype.
It does. And the impact depends hugely on context. Positive gossip like, hey, did you hear Sarah nailed that presentation? Can lead to good things. Social support, maybe even a raise if it's work-related.
But the negative stuff,
that can lead to real victimization. Hurt your career, make you feel isolated, hit that basic need to belong. And this pattern, this context matters. It seems universal across cultures.
which ties into that idea of social homeostasis, right? Like society's thermostat.
Exactly. Gossip acts as this feedback loop, helps regulate social contact, maintain stability. It's decentralized, emergent.
Yeah.
The system sensing when things are off balance and adjusting.
And cultures handle it differently. You mentioned that study.
Yeah, 57 countries. Universal agreement on what's a norm violation, basically, but how to deal with it. Big differences.
So,
Affluent, individualistic places, they tend to prefer gossip. More collectivist cultures often lean towards direct confrontation. So that natural law of social order, it's flexible, culturally adaptive.
so summing it up, it's this real double-edged sword.
Totally. Promotes cooperation, spreads reputation, builds bonds, teaches culture, but also erodes trust, damages people, spreads lies, causes pain. It's just fundamentally human, the good and the bad.
And it's not new. It's been around forever, hasn't it?
Millennia. Ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, the Odyssey, Aesop's fables are full of it. Hunter-gatherer life revolved around it. Harari argues it's what let us form bigger groups than other apes.
And even though the medium changes campfire whispers to viral tweets, the core functions stay the same.
Pretty much. Information sharing, social influence, political leverage, those are constant themes. It's a powerful lens for looking at history.
Like in ancient Rome, you mentioned it was weaponized there.
Oh, absolutely. Sources show politicians knew its power. Swaying public opinion, forcing action. These headless, authorless rumors were critical. Think about Cicero, Julius Caesar. Scandals and whispers shaping their careers, shaping events.
And not just Rome, the French Revolution.
Gossip played a big role, building on tensions, pushing people to act. Even early American views on the revolution were heavily influenced by the first rumors coming across the Atlantic, deepening political divides.
More recently, political campaigns.
Definitely. Smear campaigns against candidates Fremont, Gary Hart, or figures like Ralph Nader, often using tabloids, unverified stuff. It's a recurring tactic.
And that example from the Dominican Republic, Trujillo. That sounded chilling.
It is, turning gossip into official state business, using slander, calumny, as a routine political weapon, people rising and falling based purely on gossip. It shows how deliberate manipulation can work.
And today, with new media, it's just amplified.
To an incredible degree. Blurring news and rumor, feeding distrust in traditional media, fueling partisan divides. It creates this fragmented, polarized information environment we're all trying to navigate.
Which brings us back to why the word itself got twisted. From gossip to idle talk.
Exactly. That historical shift reflects power dynamics. Patriarchy shaping perceptions, controlling communication, and reinforced by actual punishments, remember.
Scold's bridle, the ducking stool, mostly for women.
Almost exclusively. A clear historical bias in how that behavior was policed.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What's happening inside our heads? Cognitively, it's not simple, right?
Not at all. It engages higher order processes, interpreting figurative language, reading between the lines, picking up nonverbal cues. It's sophisticated stuff.
And we're calculating, aren't we, who to tell?
Instinctively, yes. Weighing the recipient's popularity, their connection to the target, maximizing spread, minimizing risk, using those internal mental maps of our social world, constantly updated.
Our brain's doing this complex mental math.
Yeah, compressing observations into network maps for social prediction. It's actually quite similar to the algorithm social media uses to figure out what goes viral.
Like our brains anticipated Facebook.
In a way. But here's where it gets really important for you, the listener. Our brains aren't perfectly rational calculators. We have biases.
Cognitive bias.
And logical fallacies. They systematically distort how we perceive gossip, how we react. They lead to inaccurate judgments, skewed perspectives.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think confirmation bias. You hear something bad about someone you already dislike. You're much more likely to believe it, right? Because it fits what you already think.
Yeah, okay.
Or negativity bias. Our brains naturally give more weight to negative information, so negative gossip just feels stickier, more important, even if it's flimsy. Then there's availability bias. If gossip is sensational or easy to recall, we think it's more reliable than it might be.
So these aren't just abstract ideas, they actively shape how gossip works on us.
Absolutely. Makes it persuasive, hard to correct. And beyond the calculations and biases, there's the emotional side, too.
Like venting.
Exactly. Gossip is a way to express and manage emotions, frustration, anger, jealousy, even boredom. It can offer catharsis.
But that's a double-edged sword, too.
Definitely. Temporary relief for the gossiper, maybe. But it can also bring guilt, shame, anxiety, and for the target. Anger, shame, potentially leading to retaliation. Create cycles.
So ethically, it's messy. Condemned as a sin, but it has these benefits. It's deeply rooted.
It's incredibly nuanced. From a utilitarian view, you could argue positive gossip is okay, even good if it promotes cooperation or enforces good norms. Think about boosting a deserving coworker.
Or helping the powerless, you mentioned that.
Right, a resource for the subordinated. A way to warn others, resist injustice privately when formal channels aren't safe or effective. Social accountability from below.
But the dark side is undeniable. Malicious gossip.
Destroys reputations, erodes trust, leads to ostracism. And online. Spreading lies, cyberbullying. The potential for real psychological harm is immense.
Does intent matter? Idle chatter versus deliberate attack.
Hugely. The moral calculation often hinges on that. Was it carelessness, or was it driven by insecurity, boredom, maybe even sadism?
And it affects the gossiper, too. Chips away at integrity.
It can. Fosters mistrust, unhealthy comparisons, envy. And societies have always grappled with this, from those harsh historical punishments.
Bridle the stool.
To the modern challenge. How do we balance tolerance with intervention? How do we tell pro-social gossip from malicious gossip? Depends on context, intent, accuracy.
Which brings us back to AI again. How can it help us understand and maybe even manage all this?
Well, AI gives us unprecedented tools, processing vast data, spotting patterns, simulating dynamics, things beyond human capacity alone.
Like mapping the networks, seeing how gossip flows.
Exactly. Using things like named entity recognition, knowledge graphs. AI can track who talks about whom, what they say, how it spreads. We can build computational models to predict reach and impact.
And understand the content better, the emotion.
Yeah, sentiment analysis, topic modeling. AI can detect emotional tone, intensity, recurring themes. There are even emotion-aware models that can simulate the kind of charged language gossip often uses.
But there are limits, right? AI doesn't fully get us yet.
That's the crucial blind spot. AI is great at logic, data, but the subtleties of human interaction, reading nuance, understanding complex emotions in a group, grasping the whole context, the relationships, the why, that's still a major frontier.
So AI can help analyze but not replace human understanding.
Precisely. And it opens doors for intervention. Think applied behavior analysis AI already helps automate data collection there. For gossip, maybe predictive models for conflict, identifying hotspots in organizations.
To intervene before things blow up.
Potentially. But the ethics are paramount.
Absolutely. Privacy, misuse.
Professional conduct.
Mm-hmm.
AI must be a tool guided by human judgment and ethics, not a replacement.
If we step back even further, view gossip through an ecological lens, like it's part of a natural system.
You can. It connects to broader laws of complex systems, information flow. It helps society self-organize.
Back to that social homeostasis idea, the thermostat.
Exactly. Gossip as a feedback loop, helping the social system sense deviations and maintain balance, prevent total disorder.
And information flow itself, that's fundamental.
In physics, yes. It structures things, reduces uncertainty or chaos. Gossip lets us navigate social complexity, adapt our behavior, like organisms in an ecosystem.
It even drives social innovation, learning norms, spreading ideas.
It does. The way information cascades through social networks, it reflects underlying patterns you see in biology, in digital systems. There are almost algorithms to it.
Which raises that tough question. Why do humans break their own rules sometimes, even attack other cultures?
Part of the answer is gossip's dark side. Weaponized for division. Our tendency for in-group favoritism, out-group negativity, amplified by biases, leads to selective negative gossip about others.
Escalating conflict.
Escalating conflict, justifying aggression. It's that tension. Our evolved drives versus cultural norms. Sometimes rule-breaking behavior is sadly adaptive in a competitive sense.
Okay, let's bring this right down to earth. Kids, human development. How does gossip figure into raising a good child?
It plays a huge role. Social learning, moral reasoning. Kids are soaking this stuff up even when they're young.
How does it help them learn socially?
It helps them figure out who's cooperative, trustworthy, who's good or bad in their little world. By age 7, they use gossip to evaluate people, decide who to believe. It shapes their own behavior. They're learning to navigate social risks.
So they're developing critical thinking around it.
They are. By 7, they can often tell if gossip seems true, especially if it clashes with what they see. They start understanding bias, too, like if the gossiper doesn't like the target.
Interesting. And negative gossip is more believable.
Tends to be, yeah. Positive gossip often needs multiple sources for kids to buy it, but negative stuff, they might trust it even from one person.
And it's how they learn the culture's rules.
Big time. Spreads info about norms, what's acceptable, clarifies the group's morals. It's part of their social development toolkit.
So for parents, educators, what does this mean? How do we guide kids?
Well, first, promote critical thinking. Encourage them. Is this true? Who said it? Why might they say it? Investigate. Basically, media literacy from day one.
And encourage talking to people, not about them.
Exactly. Foster empathy, direct communication, conflict resolution skills. Address issues constructively, not through indirect aggression.
We have to model it, right?
Crucial. Adults need to avoid malicious gossip. Focus on positive stories, gratitude, building others up. Our behavior sets the tone.
What about making them feel safe to speak up directly?
Yes, building trust and psychological safety. If kids feel safe raising concerns openly, they're less likely to resort to gossip as a covert way to cope.
So the goal isn't zero gossip. That's probably impossible.
Given its roots, probably. But we can create environments where the negative side is minimized. Help kids develop the social smarts and moral compass to handle it constructively.
I'm picturing this huge, complex system. You mentioned an AI-driven schematic.
Right. Imagine visualizing it all. Evolutionary roots at the base, current dynamics, individuals, groups, digital platforms as interconnected nodes, impacts shown as feedback loops, cognitive biases tweaking things.
And AI could model future possibilities, maybe even suggest interventions.
That's the idea. AI monitoring layers, tracking flow, sentiment, potential harm, identifying points where intervention might help.
So what are some practical strategies informed by all this?
Promoting open, transparent communication is key. Proactive info sharing, clear channels for concerns, reduces the vacuum where rumors breed. AI might even spot communication bottlenecks.
Cultivating trust and empathy sounds vital too.
Absolutely. Encouraging self-reflection. Why am I tempted to gossip?
Yeah.
Fostering positive cultures. Maybe AI sentiment analysis gives early warnings if trust is eroding.
And that critical thinking piece for everyone, not just kids.
Essential. Education on source checking, biases, fallacies. AI tools could even offer simulations, fact-checking assistance.
What about boundaries? Just saying no. Or policies?
Both. Individuals refusing to participate, organizations having clear anti-gossip policies, AI could potentially help identify harmful patterns, suggest interventions, predict escalations.
But always with ethical oversight.
Always. Rigorous testing for bias, strict privacy protocols, human judgment firmly in the loop. AI is a tool, not the decision maker.
So wrapping this up, the science of gossip, especially through an AI lens, shows this deeply complex, paradoxical thing.
Evolved, neurobiologically reinforced, vital for cohesion, for norm enforcement, a decentralized reputation system.
But amplified and distorted by the digital age, warped by our biases, creating distrust. And the word itself manipulated historically.
It's quite a story.
So for you, the listener, the average person just trying to live a good life, understanding this means seeing gossip's dual nature. It connects us and forces fairness sometimes, but it's also a potent weapon. The rules of interacting are this dynamic mix of ancient drives and cultural adaptations. And when they clash or get exploited, that's where friction happens.
And if we want healthy kids, a prosperous society, a more balanced world, we need proactive strategies.
Like cultivating critical information literacy.
Promoting direct, empathetic communication.
Practicing ethical leadership.
And using powerful tools like AI responsibly.
The ultimate goal, then, understanding all this science behind the science. It's about empowerment, isn't it?
It is. Empowering humanity to harness the good in gossip, the pro-social side, while actively mitigating the harm. Recognizing it's part of us lets us move towards more conscious, constructive ways of sharing information, fostering trust, cooperation, well-being in this incredibly interconnected world we live in.
This is DigitView.